Okay, this is a video for the DIY dry rockers out there. I did all these rocks by myself in my previous video. I explained. So it's the third week of my cycle. As everybody knows, dry rock is a lot different than live rock when cycling. So it takes a little bit longer, more bacteria. This is actually the first time I turned on my lights because I had an emergency and I needed to get my pH up real quick. Okay, long story short, we do these DYIs, crush coral, sand, a little bit of cement. Uh, Limestone is the culprit. Limestone will mess your water parameters. So when making these, you have to cure them correctly. Now I cured all these rocks, no lie, for over 6 months. Outside in a bin, I changed the water every other day. Now, there is a big difference, and I was very hesitant on using a specific type of Portland cement, which was the gray cement. So I stuck away from the gray cement and I went with the white cement because they said it was a lot less phosphate, has lots less phosphate in it. So I went with the white ones, but however, on the last batch, I didn't have any white and I was just fiending to get this rocks done. So I used a little bit of gray. Now I pretty much cured all of them the same way. However, there was one piece that I was so desperate and I wanted it to make sure that this piece held. So with that gray cement, I put a little bit of extra cement. And long story short, after curing, I checked the pH. Everything looked good because it was in the same water with the other rocks. It didn't really give me a fluctuation in the pH. So decided to put all the rocks in the water. For the first 2 weeks, everything was fine. Third week, I saw ammonia. So what I did was I knew that once ammonia is present and I had the beneficial bacteria in there, I knew that the nitrogen cycle had already started. However, ghost feeding is not the same as fish aspiration. So with that, I added 2 fish to make sure that everything was okay. That's Chomp and Nibble. Okay, they're in the corner right now because of the emergency I had right now. They're actually doing a lot better. Okay, long story short, these live rocks that I made, the one with the gray cement was not finished leaching out. You can see all the calcium deposits from the limestone. Still, I didn't catch it because I had my lights off. During cycle, it's not really good to have your lights on because it'll feed the algae, and your ugly stage will become horrendous. So I was taking down my readings weekly, and this morning I came in and the pH was at 7.8, and my fish were at the top gasping for air. So water change, absolutely necessary real quick. So I did it. Everything is good. I just tested it. My pH is back at 8.2. I got to monitor it, make sure that there's no other rocks in there. But I did shift a lot of rocks, and I looked for the calcium deposits, and I didn't see it anymore other than the one rock. I was really desperate to make this whole and make it really like presentable in the display tank. I added way too much concrete, and yeah, that's what happened. So those DYI dry rock people, you make sure you cure these to the fullest, because that's what happens if you don't cure them properly. Remember, white Portland cement has less phosphate, and you probably won't deal with this problem because right now my alkalinity is 8 and it's reading perfect now. And I took out that rock. It was from right there, and now everything looks pretty good. I put the aeration in there to make sure that the fish survived. But yeah, they're doing a lot better now. They were like really up there gasping for air, and they're doing a lot better. They're actually eating now. I did feed them a minute ago, so they're eating, so that's a good sign. But yeah, that rock, that one rock that was leaching out a little bit of limestone, you could see that's the gray Portland cement that everybody's talking that has more phosphate than the white cement. So DYI, stick with the white cement. It's less headache and you know, less scare. But yes, all these rocks were properly cured. Well, obviously not that one, but all these are properly cured 9 months at least, and in a big tub just like that outside in the heat. Every other day I would change the water. But everything is looking good now. I'm just happy that my pH is back up. Alkalinity is reading good. And Chomp and Nibble are in the back right there, and they're doing a lot better. They were actually almost belly up, to be honest with you. But they're doing a lot better. But yeah, hope this helped anybody out with the DIY, crushed coral, Portland cement, some sand. Just be careful when curing. You got to make sure they're cured properly.